Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually very exciting. So I thought it would be perfect because I'm going to go back to my family's house in a couple of days. I thought it would be perfect to get my cat to pick my TBR for the month of March. So how I'm going to do that, because I don't actually live with my cat, I'm just going to pick 5 prompts for my jar and then pick 2 books for each prompt. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Whichever one he eats first or treat is the book I'll be reading in March. So let's get into the video. So first prompt. I'm hoping I actually can pick prompts out that I will be able to pick 2 books for. But let's go. Got a prompt. And I'm hoping the prompts aren't going to be really bad like they normally are. Nature on cover. I don't feel like I've got many books with nature on. Let's see if there's any. I don't think any of them will have any nature on it. Yeah, I feel like if I did have one, it'd probably be like 1 or max. I don't feel like I've got enough to have 2. So I'm gonna go and pick my first prompt again. My lowest rated. This is not a month that I can do lowest rated because I'd have to pick 2 books, which then means it wouldn't be my lowest rated. So that's going to go to the side, and then is this what I think it is? Yeah, blind book. I don't need them. Okay, picked another prompt. A black cover. Okay, I do have a few with a black cover. So this one I could potentially do. Ooh. So I haven't actually read The Hunger Games yet because I was meant to read it in January and it's like a few days and I haven't read it. So I potentially could re-pick that again. I'm not picking this series because this is, at the moment, I think I need to read other books before the series. I could pick Throne of Glass because it is quite a dark colour. However, I have heard recently that you have to read ACOTAR before you read this series. I don't know how true that is. So my first option is going to be Twilight. That's not Twilight. What am I saying? My first book is going to be The Hunger Games, which is book number 1. And then book number 2 is going to be Lilac. So that is my first prompt. It's Lilac or The Hunger Games. The cat is here. Look at the floor. Okay, so my second book that I will be reading is, the prompt for the second book anyway, is a red cover. Ooh, do I have many red covers? Oh, I do have a red cover. However, I need to find a second red cover because this one would work perfect. This one is the Housemaid's Secret, which I have read the first book to. So that's perfect. However, I don't know if I've got a second red book that I haven't read the other books in between. Yeah, I don't have a second red book, so that one has to go back. My second prompt again. I'm gonna put this one here. From an author I've read before. Ooh, okay. Can't read them. See, at the moment I haven't technically read a lot of these authors. However, by the end of February I should have read some of these. So I might potentially pick an author. Oh, actually. So one of the options is going to be Unravel Me by the Shatter Me series. I have read the first book and the first novella of this, so I'm kind of excited to get into this one again. So this will be my first book that I've read by an author before, and I kind of feel like I might potentially pick another book, but I don't know. Well, obviously I'm going to pick another book. I don't know if I should do like because I don't want to pick a book that I need to read in February in case I haven't actually read the book. So what I might do is pick, if I think this one is the first in the series. I do have 2 of these books, so I have the Next of King and Next to You. I'm pretty certain Next of King is the first in the book series, so that will be my second book option for this prompt. Okay, I think that might have been biased. My third book, third prompt again. I keep just seeing the red on this and I keep thinking that my camera's like dying, but it's not. Published in the last year, so I need to go on my Goodreads and have a little look-see. Okay, so in 2023 we do actually have quite a few books that came out. So I'm gonna pick the one that was from the original series that I couldn't pick. So the ones that came out in 2024 that I couldn't pick, I'm just gonna pick the ones that came out in 23 instead from that series. So I'll either be starting the series or reading the third book of a series, which is a kind of exciting for both. So the first one is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. So that will be my first option. And the second option is Safe and Six by Chloe Walsh. I've actually read the first one and I haven't stopped thinking about it since I finished it, and I need to get into the series so much more. So I kind of hope he picks this one, I can't lie. But yeah, I can't wait for that. My fourth book is going to be, ooh, I've got the prompt but another prompt's like stuck into the prompt. Book Talk book. Okay, so pretty much like all the books I've got then, yeah. I've literally, like, pretty much all my books are on Book Talk, so I don't know what to do with like that, but I don't know which ones to pick exactly because I don't know if I would have read them and stuff. Actually, yeah, my idea might be actually, I know the front of class is on, but obviously again I don't know if I need to read another book before that. So what I might do is the Chestnut Spring series, the second book in the series, which is Heartless, and then pick another Lauren Asher book, which is The Fine Print. That one is not so much on Book Talk anymore, I don't feel like, but it's definitely still there. So I'm going to put Heartless as number 1 and The Fine Print as number 2. Fifth books and the final books is the last prompt. Let's open it and see what it says. Ooh. It says season pick, which means like it had like a summary. It'd be a spring on it. Have I got any spring books? I do not think so. I've got like a couple winter books, but obviously I don't really want them. And obviously romantic books, which would be more like summery, but I don't really have any spring ones. And I feel like I've been reading a lot of romance recently, so I don't want to do that. And then the ones that are like more Christmassy are more Christmassy, so I want to read them like during that season. So I'm just going to pick another prompt. I'm going to get this like big one out. Someone else picks. Okay. Prompt. I don't even know how many prompts I've done for this last one, to be honest, but this one is Enemies to Lovers. I don't know if I actually have many enemies to lovers. Next one is a books I want to read. Okay, that one's easy. I think that one's easy. It depends on what I want to pick. The book I want to read. Okay, I'm going to pick two that are like right next to each other, because I do actually want to read both of these. I don't really have any other books that I can actually pick at the moment, to be honest, because they're all in like series, and I don't want to pick like a fourth book and my cat picks a book and then I can't read because I don't like have the books prior. So the first book is The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I actually really do want to read this. It sounds very interesting, so I wouldn't be unhappy if we picked this one. So this one's going to be number 1. And then number 2, I see this book literally at the start of 2023. Wanted to buy it, didn't buy it, couldn't find it anywhere. I knew the name, I knew what the book was, and I just couldn't, I don't know why, I just couldn't find it anywhere. Found it again randomly in the shop because someone brought it and I was like, oh my god, I want that. So I brought it, which is 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. I don't actually know how you say his name. I think this is actually in a series, however I have heard that people apparently read it as standalones and it's okay. So I will be picking this as a second option. Hey guys, so I thought I would go through real quick like the books and which ones I actually, like Jet actually picked for me, because obviously I just had on the paper 1 and 2 and then moved them around a bit. But yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is go through my phone, so I actually have which ones he picked on my phone, and I'm going to go through the order. So the first 2 books he had option for was number 1, which was The Hunger Games, and then number 2 was Lightlark. So he actually in fact picked Lightlark, which I'm actually really excited. I can't wait to get into the series. I want to get into The Hunger Games at some point, because obviously I never actually really finished it, and I feel like I was meant to read it in January. So you know what I might do? All the books that I don't read that are meant to be on my TBRs, I might just put in a list and then try and read them at some point this year. That might be a video idea. But yeah, I can't wait to read Lightlark. I will definitely read Hunger Games at one point this year. Don't know when though, sorry about that. The second lot of books. The first one, number 1 pick, was Unravel Me, which is the 3rd book of the Chatterby series, or technically the 2nd book if not including the novella, but I have read the novella, so it's the 3rd book. Can't wait to get into this. I can't lie, I don't really know what like a loads of these books are about. I just read the first 2 and I loved it so much, so I can't wait to get into the rest of this series. But the second book in this same option was Next of King, which I loved her first book that I read of hers, which was Out on a Limb, so I can't wait to get into more of her books as well. And the book that Jet picked was Next of King. It's a bit weird because this was actually the second option as well. Like he did pick the second option twice in a row, which is a bit, but yeah, can't wait to read this. So excited. I feel like that would like definitely break up the romance, no not romance, sorry, the fantasy, that's what I was going to say. 3rd book, 3rd option, we have as the first option is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I've not actually read any books by this author yet, and I've got like one of the series like full on. I've got the Fine Print series, and I've got the first book and 2nd book of this series, which I do want to get the 3rd. I think comes out later this year potentially. I can't remember when it comes out. I have seen like something about it coming out though. Anyway, 3rd book on the 2nd option is Safe and Six by Chloe Walsh. This one I do really want to read as well. I want to read both of them. They're both like romance. I need to say romantasy then. So it'd be very exciting. This one, however, I actually am already in the series. I did only read the first book full on, which is up the top. You can see it in the middle. The 2nd book, however, I've read just over 200 pages. So not ideal, but yeah. Oh, I just realised it's both purple. I don't know if I mentioned this already in this video, but they're both purple. The book Jet picked, I'm pretty certain I did move the numbers around at this point, but he did pick number 2. So we'll have to read this book. Don't know when I'm going to read this book, because I still have like 600 pages of my second book of this series that I need to read first. So we're going to try. We'll try and read that book. But I'm hoping I'll be okay with this series, because I actually really did enjoy the series. And I should be a bit more free in this month, so hopefully I'm going to get a bit of it read. And the fourth book for the first option is Heartless by Elsie Silver. And I've heard this is the second best book in the series. And I can't lie, I did enjoy the first book, but it wasn't like that great. So I'm hoping the second book will pull me in, because if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because I don't really enjoy the first book. So yeah, hopefully I'll enjoy this one a bit more. I can't remember which one. And the second option for the fourth book is The Fine Print, which I've had for ages. I literally bought this before I went to Australia, and then didn't read it because I would, like, my brain's like, if I read a book that's in the series, I need the series, like the rest of the series, so I can have it on me. So I didn't read it, and then bought the rest of the series when I literally the second I got back from Australia, and I've still not read it. So I probably should read this one, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of these books are on my TBR for like so long before I actually get to them. But the book that Jet picked was number 2. Again, he just had an obsession with picking number 2 today. Like I don't know why he kept picking number 2. Like, I kept moving them around and just kept going back to number 2, which is great because they're all good books, but I want a bit of number 1, you know. And the last and final book, number 1, is The Inmate by Freida McFadden, which generally I can't wait to read this book. It is if it's not on my TBR, I will be reading it soon, because it's like a very interesting book on the blurb. But yeah, I have read most of her books that I have, like, that I own. I think the only one that I haven't read that I own is 2 of them, which is The Locked Door and then second Housemaid book, which is, I think, yeah, The Housemaid's Secret. That's the only ones I've not read that I've owned. All the other ones I've owned and I've read, and I want all of her books. I want to get all of her books because they are really good. I like them. I really do like them. Anyway, and then the last and final book, which is number 2, is 13. This book I seen in a Waterstone, I believe, like January 2022. Seen it, wanted it, did not pick it up because it was like pricey and I didn't really have the money, I don't think. Anyway, fell in love with it, wanted it so much, and then so I seen someone buying it and I was like, yep, need to buy it. That's what I picked up for then. Anyway, so these are the 2 options. So the one that Jet picked was number 1. Finally, like, he actually went off number 2 for a second. Like, oh my god, what went over him? But yeah, I can't wait to read this book. It's so exciting. I feel like this month is going to be a great reading month. I have technically 6 books to read, but this is like the 6th on my TBR, because I need to read Keeping 13 before I read Safe in 6. So this was the 6 books that I will be reading this month, which hopefully I'll actually be able to read it, because I've been great at reading this year. Yay. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you guys next week for a brand new video. Bye guys.